I think nerds cannot be happy. And correct me if I'm wrong, but like every nerd that I've met in academia, I was a nerd. I had to become a thug to get what I want in life. And I'm gonna tell you all about my Las Vegas stories and all this crazy shit that I did. And I'm gonna walk you through step by step what I did to go from that nerd mindset to never take action, to only read and learn and be around hypocrites and people who are just reading all the time, acquiring knowledge, taking no action, and then go from that nerdy atmosphere, that boring, dull, academic atmosphere into a degenerate land of Las Vegas, and then travel the entire world, and step by step how I changed my fucking brain to transform my testosterone levels, become shredded, gain muscle, married the girl of my dreams, and finally became happy. So yeah, look, there are basically 3 traits in nerds that don't allow them to succeed. And being a hardcore nerd, because in school they used to call me super nerd. This was my nickname. And I was kind of proud of it. Because I was like, damn, not only am I a nerd, I'm a super nerd. I was the guy who took the hardest classes in the whole school, got straight A pluses, just was immersed in studies, did nothing but get good grades. That was my only goal in life. But then when I hit my PhD, right, when I was in grad school, that's when I really figured out that I don't want to be around these fucking nerds. First of all, they were poor, right? My professor was poor. He was driving a Honda Civic. Yeah, he was living in a nice apartment, but he did not have any wealth. He did not have any assets. And I was like, when I'm this guy's age, I don't want to be driving around in a Honda Civic. I don't want to be a poor person. Like, I want to be a wealthy person who can travel all over the world, still continue to study, still continue to stay cutting edge in neuroscience and in hormone science and whatever the hell I'm interested in, but not have to abide by the rules of academia and risk getting canceled and stay compliant. I wanted to stay curious. And what I realized was that inside my university, inside my PhD cohort, those people were so boring. They did not have charisma. They did not have the charm. They didn't impress me when it came to personality, character, right? And so I was like, okay, do I really want to be around these losers? And my mindset was so nerdy. Look, first of all, I had never said the word fuck before. And I know that, when I would watch movies and stuff, the gangsters and the thugs, they got all the girls, they had the money, they had the life. They would be saying fuck a lot. And people would be giving them so much respect. And I had never said the word fuck until like the age of 30. So I had to train my mind on how to curse and how to become a bad person. I still remember when we were in Las Vegas, that first week, I did not know how to talk to a girl. And one thing I realized, and this is back in 2013 when I went to Vegas right after finishing my PhD, I went there because I wanted to learn how to pick up women. I mean, the guys who've been following me on this channel, you guys know my story, right? But for those of you who don't know the story, I went to Vegas a week after I graduated, got my PhD in neuroscience from McGill, went to Vegas, and all I wanted to do was learn how to talk to women because I had no idea how to do that. And one thing I realized really early is that not only do I not know how to talk to women, but I don't know how to express negative emotion. I was this nice guy, right? This nice guy syndrome. I didn't know how to express my true feelings. I was always, paying for the dinners, opening the doors, being super friendly, always smiling. Even when I got pissed or when I got sad, I didn't know how to express my emotions. I was introverted, I was shy. It was a terrible characteristic to be in. It was a terrible character to be in because I was a liar. I was manipulating people at that time. And then when I moved to Las Vegas, I was around degenerates. Like, I was around pickup artists, guys who just want to fuck. I still remember this one guy. I went to my buddy's house in Vegas. We were in the penthouse, and he's like, and I'm like, what's going on in the balcony? And I shit you not, there was a guy who met a girl on Tinder that day, and he was fucking that girl in the balcony in front of us. That was during my first week. Okay? And then I started talking to this guy, and he'd like written the book on Tinder and everything, and he was just like hardcore sex addict. I had never had sex. I was 31 at the time. I'd never had sex in my life. I didn't even know how it felt. I didn't know how it felt to kiss a girl, to feel a girl. Like, I had no idea. I had never even held hands. Like, I was that much of an introvert. And then I go to Vegas and I see these guys. I see all these guys gambling at the casino. I see people spending $50,000 at Surrender nightclub for a fucking bungalow. I literally saw that with my eyes. And when I realized that I have no ability to express negativity to people. I'm a people pleaser. I don't want to tell someone to fuck off. I don't want to tell someone that, hey man, you're just a pussy. Stop trying to manipulate me into your own ways. So what I did that first week was I spoke to one of my friends. He was from Australia, also an Indian guy, and I told him, let's just be really mean to girls. Let's go around and be thugs, right? Like, be gangsters. What would a gangster do? So we started, I remember that there was this bachelorette party once, and I went up to the girl, the bachelorette. I was like, I can't believe some guy's gonna marry you. Like, did he even look at you? And like, have you seen yourself in the mirror? Some guy actually wants to wake up every morning next to you? What the fuck is wrong with that guy? Is he blind? I said that to a girl on her bachelorette party night. And all of her friends were around her. They heard me, and guess what happened? For the first time in my life, I got a drink thrown on me. That bachelorette girl, I hurt her feelings so much that she threw the drinks at my face, and they all called me asshole. And from that moment until today, even now, when someone calls me asshole, yes, I'm so happy. Because that means I'm doing something that is impactful and it's causing someone to feel emotion. So from that moment on, when the girl called me asshole, and it was like the first time someone ever called me asshole, I made this like something to put on my fridge, something to hang, a trophy to put on my desk. It was that cool to be called an asshole. And that was not the only thing we did in Vegas. There was many, many things, and I'll tell you more stories later. But one thing I realized right away is that in order to change your mindset from one extreme to balance, right? Because we're looking for balance. We're looking for homeostasis. Even our male hormones, right? When you inject TRT in your body naturally stops producing testosterone. Why? Because the body always wants to be in balance. If you inject something, the body's like, hey, this guy already has enough. He doesn't need any more. I'm gonna stop producing it. So always remember that in order to achieve balance, and you are at one extreme, like if you're a super nerd like me, you have to go to the other side and become a thug. I don't think a nerd can just go into balance. I think he has to become a thug. I really do. So what about the academic life? What about those people? Why are they so unsuccessful? Well, one reason is because people who are smart, they're miserable. Why? Because they don't take action, right? Believe it or not, when I would go to the gym during my grad school, I would come out of the gym without working out because I would think, I don't want this girl to love me for my body. So I would leave the fucking gym, okay? And I had all this knowledge about health, right? I was in neuroscience. I knew how the brain works. I know how exercise affects the brain. I know how food affects the brain. I knew all of that stuff. I was working with Harvard professors. I was working with Nobel Prize winners. Right, I'm just adjusting this so my lighting is good so you can see me properly. I was working with these top guys. No, David Hubel, Nobel Prize winner, Chris Pack, Harvard scientist. And I was like, I have all this knowledge, but I couldn't put it into action. Like, I knew how to get six-pack abs. I knew how to gain muscle. I knew how to increase blood flow in the body, but I just didn't do it. So there is something to be said about people who they love to read, they love to know, they love to do this mental masturbation, but there is no substance, you don't see the results of their knowledge in their body, right? So it's all this reading, and there's this concept in the brain called moral satiety. You should look this up. This is really cool. Moral satiety is basically, because you are reading about it so much, your brain thinks you already did it. This is why you'll see guys will buy a book and they'll never read it. They'll get a gym membership and they'll never go. This is moral satiety, and it's fucking terrible, and it is the worst thing in nerds. So, what did I do? I went to the complete opposite. I hung around with PUAs, right? These pickup artists who were degenerates. All they wanted was to get laid and fuck girls. And I was hanging out with gamblers. I myself became a gambling addict, believe it or not. I would be in the Vegas casino at the Wynn. I would be playing 2-5 Texas No Limit Hold'em. I had already bet on 3 sports games, a tennis game, a basketball game, a football game. I would be watching all 3 on TV. And I became so good at sports betting that there were degenerates at the poker table who were paying like $3,000, $5,000, and they were making the same bets as me. That's how much these degenerates trusted me. I had very smart brain. I knew the math. I knew the statistics. I was very good at watching sports. I watched a lot of sports. I knew what the hell was going on. And I had a very good intuition. I had a very good, this sixth sense of which team was going to win. So I made a lot of money. And these other people made a lot of money. But what's interesting is that being around these people, the osmosis, the energy that I gained, the energy that I immersed myself in during that year in Vegas really changed my life. So you can imagine a nerd who has basically spent his entire life trying to get good grades and nothing else. He moves to Vegas, and all he does 7 days a week is approach women. And all I was trying to do was change my brain to get out of that nerdy mindset, that guy who never says fuck, who doesn't know how to be negative towards women or towards men, who doesn't know how to take action. And the other thing is, it's like, if you are a nerd, you are usually in your body. You are usually not in your body. You are in your brain, right? Nerds who are extremely book smart, they usually neglect their body. And this is a big, big problem. So, and that's exactly what I did. I could not feel my body. I mean, I had low testosterone, but I could not feel it because I was so immersed in books. I had no way of knowing how bad it was until I got my limp dick. In Vegas, I pulled all these girls home. They were right in front of me, ready to get fucked. These were hot girls, man, like 9s and 10s. For people like you who may not have seen all the hot girls in the world. I've seen all these hot girls, and for me, these girls were like 6s and 7s. But for my buddies, they were 9s and 10s. I couldn't get my dick up with these hot girls. I had no emotional attachment to these girls. I had no emotional charge, no sense of love, no sense of connection. It was, hey, can I manipulate this girl, pull her to my room, even if I don't fuck her, other guys will think I did. And guess what? They did think I was a player. All my RSD friends, all the pickup guys, they thought I was a hardcore pickup artist, a fuck boy But I was a virgin. I had never fucked a girl in my life at that time. And I was 31 and then I turned 32. So that lack of feeling in my body, that lack of proprioception, which is called, which is your mind being able to feel your body, that was lacking. And what did I do to reverse it? Well, I became a thug. I started coaching guys how to pick up women. I became one of the coaches where we would go out and I would tell, hey, go approach that girl, go approach that girl. I became an action taker, right? So when we were out 7 days a week, I would be approaching girls all the time. I've probably approached like 10,000 girls in my life by now. And I did it year after year after year. Even after I left Vegas, after that first year, I spent the next, from 2013 to 2021, 8 years. And 2 years before Vegas, so 10 years. I spent 10 years of my life having one goal. Go to the hottest cities with the hottest girls, the cities with the hottest girls, the most beautiful girls, and fuck as many girls as you can. And I didn't fuck any, by the way, in that 2013, 2014 year, but that was my goal. And then eventually I did lose my virginity at 32, so on and so forth. So the fact that I was approaching without thinking is a big deal. So if you're the type of person who thinks a lot, you're trying to get knowledge, you read about the mitochondria and you're like, this is the powerhouse of the cell. Interesting. I should improve my mitochondrial function. Oh, so I should maybe get cold exposure. Or maybe I should go outside in the sun. But no. Instead of going outside in the sun and getting cold exposure and doing exercise and eating foods that boost mitochondria, no. Let me go read more about the mitochondria. Oh, the mitochondria also synthesizes hormones. Oh, the production of testosterone starts in the mitochondria of the hypothalamus. Wow. Oh, let me go read more about the mitochondria. Oh shit, the mitochondria also, it's a pacemaker. It figures out between the mouse and the human embryo how fast the brain will develop. Oh, like who gives a shit? You know that the mitochondria is good for you. You know that going out in the sunlight, doing exercise, eating well, sleeping well, removing mitochondrial toxins from your environment will improve your mitochondria and your longevity, but you don't do it. You go out there and you want to read more fucking books because you're a fucking nerd. Stop doing that. Start taking action. So this is very important. And becoming a thug. What do I mean by that? You have to have a gangster mindset by any means necessary. If that requires you to move out of your current city, move out. If that requires you to be a dick to people, be a dick. If that requires you to be a monster, like Jordan Peterson says, do that. Jordan Peterson and Carl Jung, what they're teaching, I applied to my life. I fucking applied it. A lot of people, they're gonna mental masturbate. They're gonna watch Andrew Huberman. They're gonna watch Jordan Peterson. But they're not gonna do anything in their life. I actually did it. And in this channel and in these videos, I'm trying to teach you how to apply it to your own life. All right, man, it's about to rain. Let me see if I can get inside these woods here, because I do want to continue this video. I'm not done yet. I'm just gonna get inside, boost my mitochondria while I'm inside the bushes here. Yeah, because I'm not done. And if it's raining, we're not gonna fucking stop our video just because it's fucking raining. Fuck you, God. Raining at the fucking worst time ever. I fucking hate that. Yeah, this would be a good thumbnail for the video, by the way. So yeah, let's boost our mitochondria a little bit. Put our money where our mouth is. So that's the thing. Don't be dull. If you're a nerd, if you're overthinking, you're like all the time mental masturbating, analysis paralysis, stop doing that. By any means necessary, if you're a virgin, I know a lot of my viewers are in their 20s and 30s or maybe even 40s, not so many older guys on YouTube. You need to approach a lot of women in real life, not on Tinder, not on Match, not on some other bullshit, in real life. Okay? Get out of your comfort zone, get shredded, gain muscle, get a six-pack, take it seriously. Go to sleep early at night. Go do resistance training. Do yoga. Move around, whatever it takes. Eat enough protein. 0.8 grams per pound of body weight per day. So if you're 200 pounds, that's 160 grams of protein per day, no questions asked. Don't do bullshit carnivore diet, keto diet, vegan diet. Don't do any bullshit fad diet. Eat your protein, get your carbs in, get your fats in. They're important for your hormones. Your carbs are important for energy. Everything is very, very important. You're an omnivore. No fad diet bullshit. Move. Don't follow any stupid exercise program. Move, do what you love. If you love to swim, go swim. You love to lift, go lift. You love yoga, do yoga. If you love running, run. If you love walking, walk. If you love dancing, like I do, I try to dance every single day. Dance. Okay? Now, if you have any questions, if you disagree with me, let me know. Comment below. I would love to know what your thoughts are, what your opinions are. If you want to share this video with one of your buddies who needs to hear this, who might be lonely, who might have low testosterone, who might need some motivation to get healthy and fit and get out of his comfort zone and go meet the love of his life like I did. Bro, I'm telling you right now, having a wife by your side, I used to think about, having a harem and girls on rotation and blah, blah, blah. And at a certain point, I was a fuckboy. When I learned how to fuck, I would date hot girls and fuck them. But the level of performance in the bedroom that you get with your wife, a girl that fully loves you, is like no other thing. No random one night stand is ever gonna get you that love, that emotional attachment, that synergy, that connection. That's what you need to go for. So if you're a nerd, if you're an academic, if you're a Silicon Valley programmer, if you're some student studying science and you're just all into programming or reading books, become street smart. Go take risks. Whatever you're uncomfortable with, whatever your fears are, take risks. Sit down and think. What are your thoughts? Don't escape from thoughts like I did. I buried myself in books. I hid myself with making my parents happy, making my relatives proud. Don't do that. You got one life. Live it to the fullest. Get your health in order. Figure out how to be healthy. Be smart. Get out of the books. Take action before you know something fully. This is something I do nowadays. When I learn something, I do it. And then I figure out what the hell it was. Then I go into the nitty-gritty details so I can sustain it, but I do it first. Because if someone recommends something that makes sense from someone I respect, and I do it, and it feels great, and I'm getting results, I don't care how it works. Even having a scientist mind, I don't give a fuck because I have so many other things to do. I have so many other ways to give value. Okay? So if you have any questions, if you're in trouble, and you want to get out of this trouble, I got your back, bro. Remember, I've been through this shit. The last 12 years of my life, from 2013 when I graduated from my PhD in neuroscience until now, I've done a lot of thug shit. I remember in Vegas one time, this guy fucked a girl in the elevator. The security guards caught him. This guy was a model from Norway, had never approached a girl in his life. I was his coach. I got him to approach. He fucked a hot girl, but in the elevator. He was that horny. And the girl was that horny. And I was fucking proud of this guy, believe it or not. I was super proud. And then he went to the security guard, and the security guard says, "Hey, who are you? Show me your ID." Showed him the ID. "What are you doing here? Who are you here with? Who do you know?" And you know what he said? "Contact Doc Farhan. He's my supervisor and coach. He's my caretaker. He's taking care of me here in Vegas." And they called me and they banned me from those apartments. The Meridian in Vegas in front of Tuscany Casino. I had to go live across the Wynn in a hotel, which was a great experience too. That's actually where Doc Testosterone was born. So that's good. But I had to become a thug. There was another moment where a bunch of guys pulled prostitutes home, and these prostitutes wouldn't leave. They wanted money. So I had to pretend to be a security guard and escort them out and act and be a gangster with them and grab their fucking hand and force them out, right? Because they're hoes, and that's how they're treated. That's how they're used to be treated. So I treated them like that. But a nerd would never do that. My supervisor, the Nobel Prize winner David Hubel, would never do that, even though he was rebellious and he was fucking hardcore. My boss, Chris, maybe he'll do it if the time comes, but I don't think so. I don't think any nerd can do that shit. That's why they're called nerds and geeks and dweebs and twerps. Twerps. I don't even know if that's a word. But that's what I wanted to tell you today. All right, man? I want to give you value every single day. Whatever questions you have, subscribe to the channel, get notifications, tell your buddies, like this video. And if you don't like this video, it's okay, dislike it. Give me a thumbs down, man. I want to know your emotion. Express yourself fully. You get one life. Provide massive value to the world, change yourself, and you will change the world. All right? So if you're a nerd, let me see if it's stopped raining and maybe I can walk around again. So if you're a nerd, it's time to become a thug today. Go do it, buddy.